Eaton designs and manufactures some of the most versatile and adaptable motor control centers in the business. Reliability, compact footprints, and a flexible choice of devices, including motor starters, motor protection, and adjustable frequency drives, are hallmarks of Eaton's MCC lines. Safety is also a priority, and Eaton has consistently defined the state-of-the-art in arc-resistant medium-voltage MCCs through the development of innovative bus and cabinet designs, as well as built-to-purpose devices such as the arc-resistant AmpGuard AR motor control. But the danger of arc flash events aren't restricted to just medium-voltage gear, which is why Eaton has created a dedicated low-voltage arc-preventive motor control center called FlashGard. FlashGard was the industry's first low-voltage motor control center and was designed to minimize the likelihood and severity of arc flash events. In particular, the FlashGard MCC addresses three key strategies to maximize equipment and operator safety: prevention of arc flash events through insulation and isolation of assembly elements that are prone to incidental arc flash occurrences during maintenance, a design that allows units to be disconnected and reconnected from the vertical bus with the door closed, and minimized operator exposure to dangerous voltages. To show us how these strategies work in practice, we're joined today by Ed Yee. Ed is the engineering manager at Eaton's Fayetteville manufacturing plant in North Carolina. So Ed, we've featured Eaton's arc flash mitigation technology on GearTv before, but FlashGard seems to be a line that takes it to a whole new level.
Definitely. FlashGard MCC incorporates many of the finest features and innovations that Eaton has introduced in their other arc-resistant product lines throughout the year. But you know, in the end, it boils down to two words: prevention and protection. Prevention is the foundation of arc flash safety, and we've addressed that from several different angles in the design of our cabinet interior. For one thing, FlashGard reduces the possibility of arcing faults that can be triggered from a phase-to-phase or phase-to-ground short circuit. We do that by insulating the entire length of the horizontal bus and providing labyrinth barriers that forms a clamshell layer of insulation around the vertical bus. Also, you can see that we have an active interlock system on our FlashGard unit that prevents the user from extracting the unit from the cabinet whenever the stabs are engaged on the vertical bus, or from reinserting the unit back into the cabinet if the stabs are inadvertently left extended. But in addition, there are two independent shutter mechanisms. One of them can be found inside the MCC cabinet, and it automatically closes whenever a FlashGard unit is removed from the cabinet. The other can be found on the FlashGard unit itself. This shutter closes whenever the stabs are retracted into the unit. Together, these shutter mechanisms automatically isolate both the vertical bus and the power stabs whenever FlashGard units are inserted or removed from the MCC cabinet.
Now, these are features intended to reduce the potential for an arc flash event, but we're not assuming that an arc could never happen.
Absolutely not, because that's the kind of assumption that you just can't afford to make when dealing with the lives and safety of plant personnel. And that's why we've designed the FlashGard enclosure the way we have. For the safety of operational and maintenance personnel, we have designed the cabinet to be the main defense against the harmful effects of an arc flash event. We have very substantial steel panels and doors that, when securely latched, can suppress and contain the energy of an arc flash explosion. In essence, they form a barrier of protection between you and the potential danger that can be generated by an arc flash event. In addition, we have designed FlashGard MCC with through-the-door controls, as well as visual indicators that allow plant personnel to operate the motor control center without ever having to open the enclosure door, as well as run and stop push buttons. But you know, in the end, somebody is going to have to open up the enclosure door to perform routine maintenance or for troubleshooting. But with FlashGard MCC, there will never be any surprises when you go inside. For example, with conventional MCCs, the door must be open in order to use a multimeter to perform a test before touch procedure to make sure that the bucket is de-energized. But sometimes the multimeter probes themselves can accidentally touch off an arc fault flash event if the bucket is still live. But with FlashGard MCC, there are visual indicators that let you verify that the bucket is de-energized from outside the enclosure. And it lets you decide beforehand whether it's safe to open the door or not. In addition, each FlashGard unit features Eaton's proprietary roll-to-track mechanism, which enables the power stabs to be retracted within the unit. This allows FlashGard units to be safely disconnected or reconnected to the vertical bus with the cabinet door closed. An optional remote racking system extends the operator's safety zone to a maximum of 15 feet while disconnecting or reconnecting the unit power stabs to the vertical bus during bucket replacement. Available panel accessories also include the voltage vision module, which flashes to indicate the presence of dangerous voltages inside the unit, and the MotorGuard Automag Megger Test unit that remotely assesses the integrity of the installation of motor windings while the motor is idle.
But Ed, even though arc flash protection is the main focus here, Eaton has really put a lot of thought into routine electrical safety.
Well, like I said before, Jennifer, there's always going to be occasions when an operator has to open the enclosure door to gain access to interior components or wired connections. But with FlashGard MCC, we've engineered it in such a way that dangerous voltages are not present when human operators are. We already talked about the active interlock system and shutter mechanisms that allow a person to safely insert or remove a FlashGard unit from the MCC cabinet. But equally important is to make sure that operators never have to guess whether the stabs are retracted or extended. Visual indicators on the front panel of the roll-track mechanism allow quick, positive verification of stab position and whether the stabs are connected or disconnected from the vertical bus. A red indicator means that the stabs are connected to the vertical bus and hazardous voltages are present and being delivered to the FlashGard unit. A green indicator means that the stabs have been withdrawn and the unit is now in an isolated mode. In other words, the stabs have been disconnected from the vertical bus and hazardous voltages are no longer being delivered to the FlashGard unit. Separately, the shutter position indicator provides further verification of the bucket's safety status by indicating whether the internal isolation shutters are open or closed. These shutters will only close when the stabs have been fully retracted within the FlashGard unit and disconnected from the vertical bus. And we can take safety even a step further than that. We can offer FlashGard MCC with Eaton's patented arc reduction maintenance system, or ARMS as we call it. ARMS can greatly reduce the amount of energy that's generated during an arc fault event. And less energy means less damage and danger if an event like this ever happens to you. ARMS is an optional plug-in module applied to the main breaker that permits the operator to add an instantaneous trip setting to temporarily reduce the breaker's normal trip threshold while performing routine maintenance operations. If the breaker is in this setting, it will open much quicker when an arc fault occurs. By clearing an arc fault faster and limiting its impact on downstream circuits, the ARMS system can greatly reduce the level of energy available during an arc flash event.
So let's review. Arc flash protection, closed door operations, reduced exposure to dangerous voltages, plus optional features that make standard FlashGard motor control centers even better. I don't know about you, Ed, but I'm feeling safer already. And I thank you for giving us the rundown.
Well, you're quite welcome, and it's been my pleasure.
When it comes to low voltage motor control, you can never have too much control or too much protection against arc flash hazards. With Eaton's FlashGard Motor Control Center, you get more of both in an integrated, engineered package that puts reliability, flexibility, risk reduction, and operator safety right where you need them most. If it seems like everywhere you look today, Eaton is pushing the envelope with design-forward electrical equipment and systems that respond to the critical emerging customer needs, you're right. And the right place to look for the next milestone in Eaton innovation is EatonGearTv. So stay tuned, because there's always more to come.